In our last discussion, we explored how the Jain principle of nonviolence, or ahimsa, extends to all living beings, creating a deep-rooted environmental ethic. But how does this translate from philosophical texts into real-world action? Today, we're going to see Dharma in practice, where ethics, spirituality, and ecology become one. To truly understand environmental ethics in India, we have to step outside of our usual Western boxers. Forget the separate categories of religion and ecology for a moment. Instead, let's look at the concept of Dharma. Dharma isn't just a set of beliefs. It's a comprehensive way of life, a code of conduct that guides how one should live rightly and ethically. It's about fulfilling one's duty to themselves, to society, and to the entire cosmos. In this framework, protecting nature isn't a separate activity called environmentalism. It's an intrinsic part of living a righteous life. Your actions towards the environment are a direct reflection of your ethical and spiritual state. One of the most powerful examples of this lived Dharma is the Bishnoi community in the deserts of Raj. The Bishnoi tradition was founded in the 15th century by a sage named Guru Jain. He laid down 29 tenets for his followers to live by, and Bishnoi literally means 29. Among these principles are strict prohibitions against cutting down green trees and killing animals. This was revolutionary for its time, especially in a harsh desert environment where resources were scarce. Many scholars believe that these teachings were heavily influenced by the Jain ideas of nonviolence and compassion for all life that were prevalent in the region. The Bishnoi's commitment is not just symbolic, it is absolute. They are famous throughout history for their willingness to sacrifice their own lives to protect trees and wildlife. The most legendary event is the Kayarli massacre of 1730, when the Maharaja of Jodhpur sent his men to cut down cherry trees to build a new palace. The local Bishnoi community protested. A woman named Amrita Devi hugged a tree, declaring that they would have to cut through her. Before they could cut the tree, she and her 3 daughters were martyred, and their sacrifice inspired hundreds of other Bishnoi to do the same. In total, 363 Bishnoi gave their lives that day, hugging the trees to protect them from the axes. This incredible act of self-sacrifice forced the Maharaja to issue a royal decree, protecting the trees and wildlife in all Bishnoi villages forever. Even today, the Bishnoi people are fierce protectors of their environment. They guard the blackbucks and Chinkara gazelles as if they were their own children, and they continue to be a powerful force for conservation in India. This isn't activism as we know it. It's their Dharma. It's simply who they are. This spirit of compassionate action isn't limited to the Bishnoi. Across India, you'll find Jain communities quietly and consistently putting their principles into practice. They have established countless institutions that serve both human and non-human beings. Take, for example, the goshalas, or cow shelters. These are not commercial dairy farms. They are sanctuaries for old, sick, and abandoned cows, where they can live out their natural lives in peace and dignity. Jains have also founded specialized bird hospitals, like the famous one in Chandni Chowk, Delhi, which has been treating injured birds for nearly a century. If a bird falls from the sky, it has a place to go for care. Beyond that, you'll find extensive animal rescue centers, which take in all kinds of creatures in need. They also create and manage forest sanctuaries, protecting entire ecosystems from development and destruction. In an effort to live sustainably, many Jain communities have developed innovative water harvesting systems, especially crucial in arid regions, and have cultivated farms and orchards using organic, non-violent methods. What's important to understand is that these projects are rarely, if ever, labeled environmental activism or sustainability initiatives. For the Jains who run them, these are simply expressions of their Dharma. It's about doing what is right for the world, fulfilling their duty of compassion, or karuna, and nonviolence, or ahimsa. It's a natural extension of their spiritual practice. This brings us to a key insight. In many Indian traditions, ecology is not a separate science or a political movement. It is deeply embedded in the very fabric of culture, ritual, and daily ethics. People protect nature not because they've read the latest climate statistics or because of a government policy, but because they believe on a profound moral level that harming life is wrong. It's a sin. It accumulates bad karma. The forest is sacred. The river is a goddess. and the animals are fellow souls on a shared journey. This perspective offers a fundamentally different motivation for conservation. It is not based on utility, what Nietzsche can do for us, but on an intrinsic respect for life itself. This emotional and spiritual connection can be far more powerful and enduring than any purely intellectual argument. So, what does this mean for the global environmental movement today? I believe it suggests that our modern approach, which is often very technical, data and policy-focused, will always be limited unless it can connect with these deep, local, ethical systems. We can't just export a Western model of environmentalism and expect it to take root everywhere. We need to find the Dharma in every culture. We need to understand what motivates people on a moral and spiritual level to care for their world. The Jain tradition and the example of the Bishnoi show us that sustainable living is not some new invention of the 21st century. It is an ancient practice, a timeless wisdom that we urgently need to rediscover. As we conclude this series, the final message is a challenging one. We are often told that the solution to our environmental crisis lies in better technology and consuming more wisely, buying green products, driving electric cars, and so on. But what if the real answer is simpler and more profound? What if the future of the planet depends not on learning how to consume more wisely, but on learning how to consume less? The Jain path of aparigraha, or non-possessiveness, teaches us that true happiness comes not from accumulating more, but from wanting less. It's a radical idea in our consumer-driven world, but perhaps it's the most essential one for our survival. By reducing our footprint, not just physically but also mentally and emotionally, we can begin to heal our relationship with the earth and all the beings we share it with. Thank you so much for joining me on this 3-part journey into Jainism, Dharma, and environmental ethics. I hope it has given you a new perspective on how ancient wisdom can guide us in tackling our most pressing modern challenges. If you found this series valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the intersection of philosophy, culture, and our world. Thanks for watching.